Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of the 2024 Rookie Spotlight Series here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're going to take a look at UNC wide receiver Devontez Walker, an exciting senior right now, headed to the NFL draft next year. We're going to be doing a profile film like this on every rookie that I think we're going to be drafting in our rookie drafts next year. So if you play Dynasty, you play Fantasy, and you want to get an early look at the 2024 draft class, man, hit that subscribe button. Help me grow this channel. These videos are really cool. They're going to be kind of short, sweet, to the point. And then at the end of each of these shows, I'm going to link a scouting film so you can scout Devontez Walker for yourself. And I'm going to link here at the end of the show his breakout game for 2023 against Miami, where he had 6 receptions, 132 yards, and 3 TDs actually. So it was his on the map performance. You're going to be able to scout him for yourself. All right. So these shows are great. We're going to talk about his stats. We're going to go over his scouting report. We're going to talk about his draft capital, his dynasty projection, and have some fun with some fantasy comps as well. Then, like I said, I'll link the Miami game so you can go hit the link and go right to scout him for yourself. All right. So it's been a long and winding path for Walker to get where he is right now. He is a senior. In 2020, he started at NC Central. Then in 2021, he transferred to Kent State, played there for 2 years. And then he had to come and to UNC, where he had an eligibility issue at the beginning of the season. He was denied access to play. I think 3 or 4 games went by. Then he played 1 game, I think week 4 or 5, and then his breakout game in Miami put Devontez Walker on the map. That's the game I'm going to link for you to watch at the end of the show. So let's get right into it. We're going to take a look at his 2023 stats right now. He had 41 receptions, 62% catch percentage. Not the best, 700 yards, 17 point yards per receptions, 7 TDs. You can see his PFF grades here were in the 60s. I really like the threshold of 70. Usually puts players in the upper echelon percentile of players that PFF grades, but they're grades nonetheless for us to use as context as we watch the film. So I also like to find out and look at where these players line up on the field, right? So you can see here he had 93% of his snaps that he lined up with outside and only 7% in the slot. So he's going to be most likely a boundary receiver. Look at him more of a Z receiver, not much of an X receiver. Don't know if he's got the physicality to go up against the best and the brightest DBs in the NFL. But nonetheless, I think he's going to do most of his damage working on the outside. May get a little bit of slot work. We will have to see. All right. So let's take a look at his scouting film. What makes Devontez Walker an intriguing asset and potential rookie pick next year? And really, it's going to be his vertical playmaking ability. He's explosive with the ball in his hands. All right. The guy is just a vertical threat. He's got really, really good concentration, like his ball tracking ability as well. You can see that on the film here in Miami that you're going to see here shortly, that he has the vertical prowess to really win vertically. And I think that makes him an exciting prospect. He's really got good acceleration off the line. I like his long speed too. I think he ran, there's a real analytics on Twitter that had him at 22 something miles per hour, which is, pretty good. Pretty fast. Again, his size, 6'3", 200. He's got that great kind of weight frame, little high, a little taller than guys usually 200. So he brings that length to the table, has that high point ability. There's 2 things about his scouting profile that give me a little bit of pause. Number one is his limited route tree. Not just the Miami game, but if you watch a lot of the other games in his 2023 tape, he wins a lot vertically. I mean, they used him a little bit in the short and intermediate parts of the field, but he is a vertical threat. So I'm not sure if he's a nuanced route runner and an ultimate space creator. We just haven't seen that in this 2020 film a lot. And his yards after catch ability, if you saw, the PFF grades and his stats of the image that was up previously, he only has 2.8 yards per reception. All right. And I think that was really a result of just the way he was used when he was targeted vertically. Usually had a DB close to him where he didn't have that option to really run after the catch. So I really don't know what his yards after catch and his athleticism is in the second level to really add on to the yardage. And, as wide receivers, we love those kind of stats where we want to see guys get the ball in their hands and be able to extend plays, and possibly take the ball to the house. So nonetheless, he's an exciting prospect. So let's talk about his NFL draft capital right now. It's a week before Christmas. So we're getting started early on these rookie reports. and scouting reports, but he looks like he's just outside a day 2 pick. You can see this on mockdraftdatabase.com, this image here. He is at 102. So that just puts him into, the late, round 3, early day 4, or not day 4, round 4 rather. So I think he's going to be an early day 3 pick if I had to guess where he was going to be drafted. If he goes down to the Senior Bowl, which he's going to the Senior Bowl, and really puts on a clinic down there of the route running that we talked about that we really don't see because he has such a limited route tree, there's a good chance that he could be a day 2 pick. This is a deep wide receiver class, and the kid's going to put his name in the bucket with the rest of these guys after Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. I think you could just stir the pot with all these guys. It's going to be interesting. We have a lot of scouting left to do, but nonetheless, exciting prospect. Late day 2, early day 3 draft capital is what I expect. I think on our rookie drafts, I think he's going to be a second-round pick. The wide receivers are going to rule the rookie drafts, I believe, in 2024. It's a deep class. Running back class, not so much. So I think guys are going to get their hands on pass catchers. So I can see him being a round 2. Of course, that's going to really depend on draft capital and landing spot, as they do matter in fantasy to some extent. And my fantasy comp for him really is more of like a dynasty value comp than a player trait comp. And I have kind of Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson kind of had that same film coming out of college where he was that vertical player, kind of won a little bit, had a little bit more yak ability, but I could see Devontez Walker being a wide receiver 2 or 3 on a team. I don't think he's got the skill set to be that dominant wide receiver 1, and I don't think Christian Watson does either. I think right now there's a lot of pass catchers in Green Bay, and I think when we look forward 3-4 years from now, we're going to see Christian Watson as a good wide receiver 2 or 1 on a team, or I'm sorry, 2 or 3, but he's not going to be that dominant alpha. So I feel like Devontez Walker, hopefully he gets a landing spot where he can come in and there's an alpha already there that kind of takes the priority DB on the defense, where he can then flourish and get that second or third coverage. But there you go, guys. I'm going to link the film right here now to the Miami film. Devontez Walker, get to know the name. Exciting prospect as we head to the 2024 NFL Draft. Thanks for watching.